3rd, 2023 for adoption. Moved by Council Dugas, seconded by Council Robertson. Any errors or omissions? All in favor? Carried. We have the minutes of the special council meeting held December 12th, 2023 for adoption. Moved by Council Dorwin, seconded by Councilor Dugas. Any errors or omissions? All in favor? Carried. We have the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting December 12th, 2023 for adoption. Moved by Councilor Dorwin, seconded by Councilor Dugas. All in favor? Carried. And we have the minutes of the regular council meeting held December 12th for adoption. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Tidbury. All in favor? Carried. We have no delegations. We have business arising. We have the council action item report, December 12th for information. Any comments? We have the 2024 Association of Vancouver Island Coastal Communities call for resolution for discussion. Any discussion?
There was,
Councilor Roberts.
so there was just one about workshops, but I think that's not necessarily a resolution, just on workshops and reading for councils and reading financial plans and audits and things like that.
Councilor Dorwin.
Councilor Robertson, are you meeting at the
UBCM or ADICC or something. Yeah,
Okay.
just
So you,
suggestions for workshops.
okay, there's a meeting this Friday that I'll be attending.
Okay, I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Dale Nelson Smith.
Just when you're done this item, can we pause for a second, go back to the minutes?
Oh, right, because we need to look at that. Yes, sorry. I knew there was something I wasn't getting too quick.
Our number 12 meeting.
And so do we have any resolutions that we want to bring forward? We want to think about it and
When is the drop dead deadline again? I
February
thought it was February.
7.
7th.
So we have time.
So we have one more meeting.
We got a little bit of that.
Yeah, so if we come up with a resolution we need to bring forward, then we bring it forward. Okay. Before February 7th, so we can discuss it.
Mhm.
Okay, going back to it's the December 12th minutes. Is that the ones where we wanted to look at the amended resolution?
Mhm.
So when we put in the resolution that was recorded in the minutes at the motion, LCRB requirements wanted a more specific resolution.
Mhm.
So there is a proposed amendment. So how do we go about doing that?
So what we're gonna do is we're going to amend the minutes and we're gonna amend motion 2023-234. Amended as follows, that council recommend to the Liquor and Cannabis Licensing Branch that a cannabis retail store license be issued to 100% Cannabis Ltd. And this helps to alleviate the support, which to them is ambiguous, and this would allow it to be more direct. And then it would continue, so it would allow for a non-medical cannabis store to be located at number 4, 7210 Market Street, Port Hardy, BC, as the application as proposed conforms with the zoning and buffer requirements established by zoning bylaw number 1010/2013. The district received no comments from residential tenants in relation to the application, and the Port Hardy RCMP expressed no concerns in relation to the application.
Mhm.
Thank you. So,
So moved.
well,
I
so
moved it, so I'd have to, do I have to move it? I can't make the motion myself?
You can make the motion that the minutes be amended, be adopted as amended. So
Okay,
we'll put in the amendment and then we'll adopt them as amended.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
seconded by Councillor Robertson.
Sure.
Well, you want to move it, so,
Well, it doesn't matter, yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Councilor
Okay.
Tidbury was the
Mhm.
original mover. I mean, original seconder.
yeah, so Counselor does it have to be the original mover and seconder?
No, we're just amending the minutes themselves, not actually making a new motion. We're just amending the motion that was already created. But we're now moving the minutes be approved as amended.
Okay,
Mhm. That's what I made the motion.
okay. All right, so we've got a mover and a seconder, seconded by Counselor Robertson, all in favor? Any opposed? Carried. Thank you. Under new business, we have, Counselor Tidbury's wanting a discussion on the travel costs for citizens for medical appointments.
And what I'll say about this, okay, this is, the original contract, for Wheels for Wellness ended in November. And what their, job was to send, to pick up individuals from Port Hardy, go down, Ireland, take them down Ireland, and do their medical appointments. Now, this is not appointments at the hospital. This is for eye appointments or other appointments like that. So they were, Wheels for Wellness was contracted to do that work. Okay, in November, the contract finished, and the hospital people was renegotiating the contract. Now, and I've been on to the board numerous times to try to get updates and things like that, and they just keep coming back to me, telling me in the works. So I'm bringing it to this table because this week we have two individuals from Port Hardy that had to go down for medical appointments. So how they are going right now is that they have to go to the hospital, get on the hospital bus, which takes them down to, in this case, into Courtenay. And from that point, they have to get a ride to their medical appointments in Courtenay. Then they have to stay overnight because the vehicle doesn't, there's not enough time to do their medical appointments. So they have to stay overnight and then in the morning, they have to get a ride back to the hospital and then come back up here. So what I'm trying to accomplish here is to try to recognize that we need a speed up here. You know, they've already been, it's already into mid-January and these appointments have already been scheduled for these individuals. But I know there's more people that need to go down Island in the next while. And this is the only process that can be done. So it's great expense to the citizens, I think.
Counselor Robertson?
so I appreciate what you're saying, John. So what do you see us doing?
Well, I just like to send a letter to VIHA and saying, you know, can you speed this process up? Because it's there. You know, the mechanics is there. All they've got to do is get individuals to sign a contract.
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I was just gonna say, I think one of the things that needs to be emphasized as well is that John pointed out, Councillor Tidbury pointed out, that there seems to be somehow a change in terms of hospital to hospital as opposed to community to.
There is two
Appointment.
different separate things.
It's two separate things.
Well, I know,
Do
but
So I'll
So-
just,
it's important to go to access your appointment.
yeah, so I totally agree. So I'll tell you some of what I know. So the Wheels for Wellness contract ended October 31st. They were asked to put in another RFP because the contract was ended. It was an open bidding. They are a nonprofit society and they decided they were not going to put in another RFP. They did not want to provide the service anymore. So they were asked, because I think that took Island Health off guard a bit. So they negotiated that they would continue offering some of the services for past their contract date, which they did. But now that's ended and there should be an announcement fairly soon on a new provider also Wheels for Wellness did all of Vancouver Island, not just the North Island. They did all of Vancouver Island. So now there's going to be, from what I've heard, different contractors in different areas. So after John brought this forward to me, because I've been waiting for an announcement saying who the provider is going to be up here, and there has been no announcement. So at today's when I was meeting with a number of other Island Health people, I brought it up again, and they were going to start pushing. When is it going to be announced, and when is the service going to be available? And I suspect when the service is available, it's going to be a gradual build up to the service because it will be a brand new provider and they have to hire people. So not ideal.
No.
But
And
we certainly
we'll-
send the letter, but.
Yeah. I'd just like to just get it in motion somewhere.
Yeah.
Because it's costing our citizens quite a bit. Wheels for Wellness wasn't a perfect solution. They did have some drawbacks, especially when on the regional district, because I'm also on the transit system. They have problems with the islands, getting those individuals down island too. So, and also if you were a handicapped person, that was another thing. So they weren't totally perfect. So, but it was a service that was provided for the North Island people, and the theory was that that anybody living in this location should have the same satisfaction and hospital care or a medical appointment care as a person in Victoria or the Nanaimo or whatever.
Mhm.
That's all we're asking for, but same sort of care.
So would you like, myself and staff to write a letter?
Please.
We will get on it. Just so you know, I am meeting with, some people on Friday morning virtually, and then I just got an invite, to go to a meeting with, Island Health Board in 2 weeks, I believe. So
Yeah.
I can also bring that up, but we can, certainly do a formal letter.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, John. So under correspondence, we have the Office of the Ombudsman, person, sorry, with the quarterly report, July to September 2023 for information. Any comments? I thought we did pretty well. Just one unsubstantiated, information. We have the Honorable Jane Austen, Lieutenant Governor of BC, the 2023 year-end report for information. That was a pretty interesting report. I just wanted to highlight in one of the pictures of the Reconciliation Awards, we had sent in a letter of recommendation for Chris Fuller, and he should have been in that picture, but he couldn't make that particular awards, and hopefully next year his picture will be there. But I also want to say, if you look closely at that picture, my daughter-in-law is in there. So that was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Under, so then Louisa Bates, our confidential secretary, staff report regarding the 2024 proclamations.
Sure, Pat, did you do the?
It's on there.
Only one, no,
Oh, I missed the funny one, sorry.
all that many.
All that money.
Mm.
Did I jump?
We don't get it anymore?
Yeah, we do.
So Bindi Sawchek, Assistant Deputy Minister, Housing and Land Use Policy Division, Ministry of Housing, regarding the funding for local governments to support housing initiatives for information. We do get a little bit of money to support our housing initiatives,
All
so
help, right?
it all helps, yeah. So I guess we'll have to discuss how we're gonna spend all that money. Finance.
Finance.
Okay, we have no committee reports. Under staff reports, yeah, I just jumped a couple, didn't I?
That's okay.
The Department of Finance regarding our December 2023 and EFT list report for information. Any comments? Louisa Bates, confidential secretary staff report with our 2024 proclamations.
Just keep getting.
Go ahead, Louisa.
This item is an annual report for council. It outlines all of the proclamations that have been recently brought forward to council and endorsed. And so it's part of our policy 1.2 to approve these proclamations as listed in the report for the current year. So my recommendation to council would be that that council endorse the above proclamations for 2024.
I'll make that motion.
Seconded by Councilor Dorward. Any comments? All in favor? Any opposed? Carried. Thank you. So we have our Director of Financial Services, Nora May Isaac, read the Catalyst accounting software.
I've outlined most of the information in here to why we've been looking at it and about the new software. So I thought if you guys have some questions after going through it, maybe that'd be easier for you to just ask me or give me your thoughts.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Like the time saving.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yes.
it really is. And we had lots of good feedback. Heather has luckily worked with the system before and will be a big asset to help when people have questions because she still understands it quite well. It's I would tease that it felt like I was gonna get a test. Anyway, the whole process is gonna take a while, but we've had so many troubles with Maze in the last little while that everybody's really buying into it quickly. The Book King transition for the import for the rec center is a plus for sure, because that takes up a lot of time with journal entries for the pieces that don't import right into our accounting software into Maze. And then the Public Works called up today to just double check because there's a meter reading module in here. Yeah, meter reading module that they were quite impressed with when they were watching it. Well, Jenna was the one that was watching it because she works in Maze and she just phoned today to double check that it does speak to the one that they're using, which is Itron. And I double checked with Catalyst and they said, yeah, no problem. So it seems like it would just be a really slam dunk and happy people, especially me.
If I may, Mayor?
Yes.
I just have one comment with regards to the strategic relevance. So prior to my arrival at the district for Hardy, I used this system. We were doing email billing. I implemented that in my prior job in 2007. So I was very surprised when I came here and we had the limitations. So when we set up the cloud-based program that we had 2 years ago, we kind of hoped that it would have the same kind of integration. And unfortunately, it's fallen flat and hasn't provided the customers with what they're looking for. This particular platform will give everybody the opportunity to view their water, sewer, taxes in real time. They can also print their own tax certificates for their own purposes, for being able to take it to the bank and be able to get refinancing or anything like that without having to phone the office or have to pay somebody to download that for them. And then the other thing that it's going to do too is give our staff the opportunity to, because right now, if you've ever called into the office to find out what your taxes are, we have to ask you who you are and live and how long you've been there and your social insurance number. I'm kidding. We don't ask for all. But it is a lengthy process. And of course, every single one of those transactions takes anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes to walk people through what their bill might say. This will give them the opportunity to log in real time and be able to see that. But not to mention, it'll also save us on the postage. So right now we're paying roughly about $1 a stamp. We're sending out roughly 2,400 bills 4 times a year in utilities, 1 time a year for taxes. Those that sign up for the online will be given the opportunity to no longer have paper bills, which means we won't print them and they won't have to be stuffed into an envelope. So those are the perks. And then the other part too, with regards to supporting the strategic relevance, is it also gives us the ability to send out information as part of those packages through the email. So the newsletter would also go out electronically, and any other correspondence.
Councillor Dorwin,
I'll just make the motion for the staff recommendation.
seconded by Councillor Tidbury. Any comments?
It's awesome. Perfect.
Right, all in favor? Any opposed? Carried. We have no current bylaws or resolutions. We have one pending bylaw number 1164-2023. Amendment to zoning bylaw number 1010-2015. Council reports. Councillor Dorwin.
Thank you. It's been a bit quiet over Christmas, in the council world anyway. I'm very busy personally. It was wonderful time of year. Attended the fire department officers meeting last night, and they have been busy. They were able to provide mutual aid to those 2 substantial structure fires in Harmony. So that was good. They don't have any sort of public events happening until the weather improves, so too much to report outward there. This morning I attended the mobile CT scanner grand opening. It was actually well attended for a pouring rain. Everyone was crowded under the umbrella or the tent that the Lions brought, but yeah, pretty state of the art. And to have that in Port Hardy, and it's just going to benefit our community. Obviously, anyone who needs medical imaging, but also, you know, physician recruitment and medical imaging recruitment, and just it makes Port Hardy a more attractive place to live and have access to that. CT scans are used for quite a bit. I learned some stuff while I was there as well. So that's it for me.
Councillor Tidbury.
Pretty slow, Christmas, New Year's, but on Monday, we had the new executive of the seniors, and Karen Zizerman Zottman is the new chair now. And we talked a little bit about the committees and how we're going to go forth in that. And again today, I did the CT scan. I was there for the opening too.
Councillor Dugas.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, pretty quiet. It's nice to have a break between Christmas and New Year's, and I'm sure the staff all appreciated having that time off. It was great. Everybody's back at it again. We had this last week had a meeting down in with Jackie Childs with regards to Vintest getting set up for our meetings for this coming year. And then I did a little bit of helping with the updating of the thrift store between Christmas and New Year's. We did some changing around down there and some painting. So yeah, if you haven't been in there for a while, if you go in there, it looks a little bit different. But anyways, so that's basically what I did. So I wish everybody a happy New Year.
Yeah, no, happy New Year, everyone. Again, saying off on holidays and things, and at the CT scan, I was very impressed with going in and having a look at it. Cool. But there was one thing that came up over the holidays, and I just thought I would draw council's attention to it. With the Vancouver Island Regional Library, an issue came up over the holiday with respect to, was actually, I think it was last week, room rental. And a group that rented a room that was a controversial group. And it was with respect to a broader issue going on in the world today. It was quite controversial, and staff had to decide whether or not to rent the room to this group or not, which they did ultimately. And whatever happened, there were going to be people who were not pleased with the library doing that. And the reason why I bring it up is because what staff and the library board had to go on was existing policy. Was policy in place that allowed the decision to be made. And it was in place. And so while the decision will probably be discussed at some length and will be controversial, but the policy was in place that allowed that decision to be made. And I just thought it was a good example of how critical it is to have sensible, sound policy in place for issues that are potentially controversial before those decisions come by. And so the library board and lots of groups, including us, have an ongoing policy review. And I just think it's a really good idea. And while it was controversial, I think it worked well. So the importance of having the policy in place. Just me off on a tangent.
That's okay. So true. So true.
Kind of wonder, so sometimes when it's a controversial issue that comes up, when the policy is made, there might not be that controversy. So how do you do it?
No, and that's fair enough. And that's part of a review and an after the fact discussion.
Yeah. Councillor Textor.
Hello, happy New Year to everybody. So over the holidays, quiet on council side of things, but personal side of things, I attended the Winter Wonderland at the Civic Center. It was an awesome event put on. Tons of people there, kids and families. It was amazing. And then I also attended the New Year's event, which was another amazing event full of families and kids. I just want to throw a huge shout out. I did it on Facebook already, but a big shout out to the rec department for doing such a great job when there's that many kids running around and it's quite hectic. They did a great job being friendly with everyone and welcoming everybody, and both events were just so awesome. So I want to do a huge shout out to that. And I also want to do a big shout out to all the businesses that donated to make those two events happen, and also all the free public skates throughout the break too. So, you know, having a kid, I was there almost every chance I could get going to the free public skates. So a big shout out to the businesses who made that happen. It's amazing. It's great for our community, and I'm just happy that our rec department does such a great job for our town, providing events like this over the holidays. So big thank you to them.
Thank you. Thanks, Brian. So that was one of the things I was going to say too. But first off, no one mentioned the Business Festival light up. That was huge. We were all there. And so a big shout out to the Chamber of Commerce for what they did, and as well as our Public Works Department for going a bit above what they normally do with their lights, but as well Corn Nelson and Alex Wolfen that really spearheaded the Business Festival of Light Up. I don't know how many people have said what an awesome way to have Christmas and the lights, and hopefully we'll do it next year and do it better. And I know Cora was talking to our CAO during the time about having more electrical plugins, so there weren't so many battery operated lights that the batteries were taken out of by various people that needed batteries at home more than they needed down there. But but it was great. And I know I saw more lights up at houses too around, and I know on Councilor Dorwood Street, there was a bit of a battle going on. But it was really nice. As well, I attended the Gift of Life Uplifting Celebration that was sponsored by Sacred Wood Friendship Center, but organized by the Building Blocks. And it was amazing how many people were over there. There were hundreds and hundreds of people and different providers around that were giving, that had information and support for anyone that needed support, especially over the Christmas season. And as well, we know that there's been a number of unfortunate deaths due to drug overdoses and other incidents. So there's a lot of people grieving, and so the Gift of Life Uplifting was really nice. Helped out with the Port Hardy Loaves and Fishes Christmas hamper, which was really nice.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And I know that the Lions and other organizations were very involved in the Gazette Christmas Hamper Fund. So
Mhm.
thank you very much for all those organizations that were doing that. There was an announcement, and I'm not sure if everybody has seen it, about Island Links. It's going to be, the bus service is going to be coming to the North Island in May 2024, which will be a real benefit to the community. And again, thank you to the rec department and all the businesses that put on free skating, and the nonprofit organizations that put on free, for example, the Lions that helped out. So thank you very much. And yeah, looking forward to 2024 and seeing what we can do. And I know finance meetings are coming up soon, so.
And we're getting excited
And we're
Mayor?
getting very excited about the finance.
about the pool.
Oh, we're getting very excited about the pool and having that project done, and going on to our next project. So we're hoping
Another pool.
that the pool will be another pool. My short tongue. Yeah, we're hoping that the pool will be operational very soon, and it'll all be good.
Mhm.
Move on to another project, get our financial statements done, go on to new capital budget projects, and yeah. All right, under information and announcements, we have a number of meetings coming up. Am I missing anything there? We don't have the finance one in there, but it's to be determined, I think.
Right.
We have no notice of in-camera meeting. I'm sure we'll be having one.
Mhm.
Motion to adjourn. Councilor Robertson. Any questions?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. Pertaining to the committee at whole meeting of December 12th with Fran Hunt, I can't say your last name,
Janucci.
doing pertaining to the Aboriginal Coalition to End Homeless Society. It doesn't seem to be answered on here. It was a request to council that the district provide land and a member of council be appointed to the society. What land was the district going to provide for them?
So we're gonna be talking about that and discussing it, and there has been no decision made about that at all.
I can't hear you. Could you speak up a little bit more on that one? Sounds good
Sure,
to me.
there's been no decision made. We're gonna be talking about that at a future date.
Okay. Because there was something about January 12th. Deadline January 12th.
On January
Here?
on January 12th, the society has to put it, that's a deadline to get an application in for grant funding. So it had,
So that's just in a couple of days from now. Right.
yes, that's correct.
And you're on the board, huh?
Okay, yeah, because it doesn't seem to be answered on here and I just wanted to know.
Well,
on that.
that's because there's been no decision made about it at all.
Yeah, because there's a few spots in town here.
Yeah,
And it's district land, I gather, right?
yes,
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, no, I just wanted to know that.
okay.
If I could add to, decisions are never made at the committee of the whole, so you would never find a decision on that. it has to come to the council, regular council meeting. So like we could recommend from the committee of the whole to the council meeting, but the decision would never happen at the committee of the
We
whole.
can't ask any questions on this?
No, you can
no,
ask questions. No, the decision that you're asking about, like, did we decide to provide land?
Yeah,
If a decision like that was made, it would be in the council minutes.
it won't be at a council meeting. It's gonna be, what's the answer gonna be at?
It won't be in a committee of the whole meeting?
A
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah, the
Okay, it's gonna
decision's
be at a
always,
council meeting.
yeah,
Yes.
we can
Yeah,
only make
okay,
decisions.
yeah, no, I just- It's being that's on the agenda and it's not answered that request. That was my
Yeah,
question.
yeah, but just so,
I'm
yeah,
allowed to ask that because it's
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
agenda.
Oh, yeah, it's on
No,
the
it's-
agenda,
Yeah,
but-
okay,
just because it's in a committee of the whole, is what Janet is saying,
yeah,
it
it's
would,
gonna be coming back.
it has to come to a council meeting.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I just wanted to know the facts on that.
Yeah.
And, this is just a comment or a big question. In Victoria on Brown Street, she's involved in that, the society down there,
That's correct.
okay? And this last year, they had a lot of donations for nonprofit. You already know that. But the city of Victoria donated over 100,000 was one of their donations for their society. You guys, you donated 729.30 for the.
No, we did not. We donated 300.
It was 700.
Yeah, but okay, this.
Oh, what, sorry, 729.
29.30.